And then we move on to the money matter. You know, money matters in everything. How do we have access to the money? We have a money coach, financial coach. Our Sister Honjai is coming to tell us about money, about finances. And thank you, the stage is yours.
Thank you so much, Anetta, for having me. I apologize. I'm in the car. This was not how I envisioned that I would be doing this. But hey, I would do this from an airplane if I had to. If I was traveling midair, I would jump on and do this. Thank you so much for having me. Again, my name is Awasisa Honjai. I am originally from Banjo. The money is so important, right? Every girl, right, that growing up and even today, every girl is too busy trying to look good to be able to find a rich man to marry to, right? Forgetting to learn how to put out our own 2 feet, how to stand up on our own 2 feet, forgetting how to learn about the money because the money is not our responsibility. That has been so disproved these days that in fact, you know, I remember when they said, well, when you're educated, you didn't attract the men, right? Girls, am I making sense here? Are you understanding this? Like, how many times have we heard, well, learn how to cook, learn how to look good, you know, so that you'll find that rich man? Listen, when a woman works hard, when a woman has money, when a woman is business minded, when a woman is an entrepreneur, a rich man is a bonus, right? A rich man is a bonus. There aren't many rich men out there. I know not all of us are going to find rich men. So why not take care of you? Why not you be the one who understands the money, right? So when a woman has money, the woman has louder voices. Your voice becomes a lot louder and you have a lot more choices. Believe me, you're too young to understand this, but I want you to remember this. As you get older, as you transition into womanhood, you will understand and remember that I said this. When a woman has money, they have more choices. Choices are going to be very life, no matter what stage, to be able to have a choice. You probably have seen adults who are suffering in marriages, who are suffering in different ways, but they will tell you they don't have a choice. They're going to bear it because they don't have a choice. This is why I'm here today. I'm here to tell you that you need to put yourself in a mindset where you understand that what you do takes care of your family, right? So when does this start? It starts early. We need to have the conversation with our girls. I have a 12-year-old daughter. The conversation with your daughters, you know, if you're a parent on here or an educator, it's a task that we all need to do with our girls particularly, right? Because the conversation starting early, letting your child know that they can, right? You can. That conversation with your girls, you can, you need to, right? And you will. Why am I saying this? As a young girl, when I was newly married, my dad had a conversation with me that reminded me of the you can, you need to, and you will, as according to money. My dad told me that what I was supposed to have in life or my aspirations of my life were not going to come from my husband. My father told me this. And this was a father who had 4 wives, and none of his wives had a job outside of the household. All 4 wives, they were stay-at-home moms, didn't have a job, were not independent financially, right? Relied on him. Now, how is a man who had wives that he took care of 100% of the time going to tell his daughter that she shouldn't expect that from her husband? He didn't give me the whole story, but living and learning and realizing why he did it was because women need to be independent when it comes to money. I'm not saying separate your money in your household. What I'm saying is you need to be able to do for yourself. Don't rely on a man to take care of you. You're being educated today. You're being sponsored to get an education today for you, not your husband, for you. So be the best you can be, achieve as much as you can, and keep that mindset open of you can, you need to, and you will, right? This will boost your risk-taking skills. This is the most important thing. Any skill that we can teach you, how to cook, how to clean, how to take care of yourself, hygiene, all of that, look good, all of that, your risk-taking skills will take you and carry you forever. And the risk-taking skills are molded by the mindset that says you can, you need to, and you will, right? The educator's role here is going to provide the training. Like my dearest Professor Jane Abasisa said, the mindset for entrepreneurial skills is learned. So educators need to incorporate classes, training that teach and inspire and motivate and encourage entrepreneurship. We need to build confidence. Confidence needs to be built, especially Gambian girls. We have grown and stepped aside as second-class citizens. That's how I grew up. But I wanted you to see me today so that you know that it can be learned, right? We were told we were second-class citizens. I remember my dad saying a remark to me, shook his head one day and said, "You should have been a boy." What did he mean by that? My dad told me I should have been a boy because I was always a go-getter, right? So in his generation, women were not expected to be like that. In this generation, you are. Because if we are to change this world, women need to be on the forefront. So it doesn't matter that you're not a boy. You can do even more than any boy can do, right? So we're going to teach you leadership. We're going to show you how to, encourage problem solving, because those are the mindsets that encourage business risk taking, right? So we're going to also consider how we're going to turn after school into practical hands-on opportunities. Now, this is not new. After school was always, okay, go in the kitchen, go do your chores, right? Why? Because back then, the goal was to marry me off. So if I'm going to get an education, I might as well also learn how to cook, learn how to raise my family. These are all important. But we're going to see how we can incorporate teaching entrepreneurial minded, business minded, learning how money works, teaching our children about money on an early age. Because I remember, these were all taboos. As a young girl, they say, oh, don't talk about money, because when you teach your girl about money in an early young age, they might not concentrate on school. They're going to like money. And when a child likes money, that's not good. I don't even want to say the word, right? But you know what I'm trying to say. They used to say when a girl likes money, it's not safe for them, because they could be manipulated into different things because they like money. Listen, I'm not saying don't like money, but I'm saying understand money. Understand that money is going to make your world a lot better. Understand that just getting a paycheck from somebody, there are better things than that, right? Get a paycheck if that's where you need to start, but also have the mindset that you can turn around and be the one giving out the paycheck. Okay, as an entrepreneur, when we teach women entrepreneurial mindsets and money and business, it pays to encourage the young woman to be an entrepreneur, because as they choose business as a career, the power girls can make when they take the lead is just, when they take the lead in business, is just priceless. What does it do? They become the next gen women, next generation women. Next gen women, when I think about it, I envision it and I just get too excited, because things have to change. And how are we going to change it? Number one, by getting an education, which is why you're here, We're going to do everything in our power to make sure your education continues and goes as far as you need it to be. But while you're doing that, learn to have the mindset that you can do it. You want to be independent, right? You want to be independent, number one. When you become independent, guess what? You become an employer, not an employee. Now you're an employer, right? Then you become a role model. You can become a role model for your own children, number one, and the community, and then the world. Take it as far as you want to take it. But think about the fact that at a minimum, you want to be a role model for your own kids. And last but not least, you can be a good companion to any husband, right? I put that on the bottom because it's not a priority. It's on the bottom. You're going to be a best companion to any husband because you're independent, you're a role model, and you're an employer, right? So teaching our girls how money works, the basic how money works systems is what's important, right? I'm hoping that I can do something when I'm planning to come to Gambia soon. I'm hoping that I can do something where I can do a basic mindset, how money works, business mindset, money and business, and women or young girls, or how to introduce young girls to money and the mindset. I will be talking to Anita a lot more about this, but I am so excited. Write down anything you heard, gather up some questions, send them to me, and in any format. But before I close out, I wanted to say one thing. Don't be afraid to go for it. Don't be afraid to go for it. Sometimes you will fail. Sometimes people around you will fail. You'll see other people's go for something and fail. In our culture, it makes us fear that path. When I see someone go down a path and they fail, I may not want to do it because I already saw somebody did it and they failed. Hey, listen, lessons are not learned from successes. Many lessons are learned from failures. Be willing to fail. It's okay. I know we laugh at each other when someone fails. No, laugh with them. Laugh with them, get up, learn the lessons you learned from that failure, and success comes eventually. I've read many quotes where it says success, right, is a destination. Failure is a stop towards your destination. So if your train stops at one stop and you didn't get to your destination yet, do you get off? Of course not. So stick with it, go for it, and you can do it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Awa. Thank you to all the girls that are listening to us. We are women that you can relate to. We have some other women who are, in the UK, in the USA, but for Jainaba, Awa, myself, you can relate to us. We are all from Banjul. We went to those schools that you guys are attending now. We attended and we sat in those same classroom that you sat in. Exactly. So you can do it. If we did it, you can do it right now. At the same time, you can look at other women that are not from the Gambia, that are in the UK, in the USA, and connect with them based on the things that they're doing. We have what we call shared values. And you can have shared values with anyone across the world. And when we're talking about sexy for women, we're talking about the women with the long hair, the nice nails, the on-point dresses, the on-point makeup. Do you know what is the new sexy? An independent woman that can do her own and own her own. That's the new sexy, girls. Yeah, that's the new sexy. And that's the new sexy that we want for you girls to be able to have and embody. Yeah, does all the other women here agree with me that that's the new sexy? Yeah, amazing.
Absolutely. Right up my alley.
Amazing. So now we're moving into the conversation. We're taking it to the next area. With all this business mindset, with all this money mindset, starting your own business, doing your own thing, you need to be confident. You need to love yourself. You need to know that you have it in you to do it. Self-worth, not looking at somebody else saying, oh, I wish I was like that person. No. So we have ladies here they're going to tell you how to build your confidence, how to love yourself, and how to know that you've got it all inside of you. And it's just waiting for it to come out. So we'll give the stage on to Rebecca. Would you like to come on now?
Yeah, that's cool. I am Rebecca Hemmings. I'm just going to share a presentation with you, if that is okay. And yes, I didn't discuss, but I'm sure it's fine. So, slideshow, there we go. So I'm here to talk to you about glowing up. So let's stop from the beginning. So I have been working, I'm a director of Strawberry Words. Strawberry Words is a training and development company. And at the moment, what we're doing is we're teaching leaders around the world about racism, because racism is huge. But where that was born was from working in schools and teaching young people to value who they are, acknowledge their identities, acknowledge their culture. So I was brought up in the UK. I was born here. My parents are from Jamaica. But when you are from a minority community here, often you are not spoken about. You are not a part of the conversation. So for a lot of brown people, a lot of Black people, there is a major lack of confidence. So for many years, I've helped many young people, particularly Black and brown people, to really acknowledge who they are and to build their self-worth. Okay, I'm going to fast forward to 2017. So me as a grown adult, so I started that business, I should say, when I was 21. So I've been running that all this time. I knew, actually, when I first started, I knew that I didn't want to be in a normal job. That's just me. I just felt like I want to be free. I want to be able to call my own shots. I want to be happy. And I just want to be able to control my own destiny. I don't want to be tied to anyone or anything. So that was my personal thing. So I've been running this now for, 26 years, a long time. And so 2017, I got cancer. And so even though I do all this work with young people about self-worth and self-love, that I got to a point where I had to think, really, what is this? What is self-love? How do you love yourself? How do you really value yourself when you're feeling like, actually, I just want the world to swallow me up? And so I've been working with women on that through fitness, through looking at personal development, through changing mindsets, through coaching. And so I'm just sharing with you what I have learned from women are some of the main key components of loving yourself, truly loving yourself, and seeing yourself as worthy. And that's what this is. It's glowing up. So it's more than just glowing up physically. It's not just about that. Although I do like playing with hair and nails and all that sort of stuff, but it's not about that. It's more about what is going on in here, what is going on in here, okay? And that's the glow up. So firstly, let's start with what self-worth is. Self-worth is knowing your value. It's knowing that you are worthy. It's knowing that when somebody puts you down, that, hold on a second, you know, you're telling lies, because I know actually I'm this, I'm fabulous, I'm amazing, I'm confident, I'm a great reader, I'm a great, I'm so great, so many things. It's knowing inside your heart that this is what I am. And you see, when you know this, nobody can't tell you any different. So it's being confident in who you are. It's knowing that you are worthy of good things. So it's knowing that, okay, I'm not where I want to be right now, but I know I can, you see, where that person is now, that person I really admire, I'm going to be there. I'm confident I'm going to be in that position or similar when I'm older. I don't know how, but I know I'm worthy of that. So it's really being sure on who you are, okay? And so that if somebody told you, for instance, that, you know, your hair's blue and you know it's black, no one can't tell you anything, because you're confident enough. You have so much self-worth and value that nobody can't tell you anything. All right. I should say, by the way, that this conversation is a bit of a grown-up conversation for young girls. It's a kind of, as I said, it's the kind of conversation that many women would have wanted to have when they were younger. So I'm going to ask you to kind of stick with me here, because I'm going to tell you some hard truths as well. What's self-love? So self-love is being kind to ourselves. So often when we hear about self-love, we hear about things like mindfulness, which is a part of it. We hear things like, you know, taking nice baths and doing your nails and, you know, all that sort of stuff. That's a part of it, but it's only a tiny part of it. It's really, again, it's about what happens inside, how you treat yourself. So it's being kind to yourself. Often we can be quite nasty and we can be bullies to ourselves, you know. When we get something wrong, we might say, you know, oh, silly me, or oh, I'm so whatever it is, and I'm so stupid or whatever, and you probably wouldn't even say things like that to your your best friend. So why do we do it to ourselves? Okay. It's acknowledging that you're human, that we, sometimes we go for perfection. We want to be the best. Often, particularly with young people, we're taught to strive to be the best, to strive for excellence. And no one's not saying you shouldn't do that. Of course, it's important to want to be good, but it's understanding that when things go wrong, it's not the end of the world. We all make mistakes. We all fail. As the previous speaker said, we all fail, and it's a part of the journey. Oh gosh, I failed in business, but I've always bounced back, come back, and it's been an education. It's showing forgiveness and understanding to yourself. Again, it's just, acknowledging to yourself that you're only human and there's only so much you can do. You're not a robot. And essentially it's being your own best friend. So it's imagining being around someone who is so kind and lovely and caring, and it's being that person for yourself. Okay, it's really important. So I'm going to share with you, before I go into that, I'm going to share with you 5 grown woman for young girls secrets that many women will have wanted to have known when they were younger, so that they can build, so they would have built their self-esteem and their self-worth. First one is exercising. And I know we hear this all the time, run, dance, play sports, swim and all that, but it's so important because firstly, yes, there is how we look, and especially when you're young, you're thinking about how you look. You're thinking about how other people are perceiving you. So if you're regularly moving, you're likely to be a lot more confident in how you look. But it's not just about that. It's also for the mind. It's a great calmer for the mind. It's a great de-stressor. Sometimes we get stressed. We're thinking about school. We're thinking about home. We're thinking about what's expected of us. And when we exercise, it allows our minds to calm down and enables us to get better sleep, which is really, really important. Okay, number 2. Now, this is my daughter. I am fabulous. It's something I try and teach her all the time. I try to tell her to affirm to herself what she is. And so actually, I'm going to ask you to do this. So it's about knowing what is great about you. So I've asked you to pop your pens and papers down, but if you can pick them back up if you haven't already. And very quickly, I want you to just write down 3 things, 3 assets that you have. What are 3 great things that you hold? What are 3 great things that perhaps maybe a friend would say about you? But actually, no, forget that. What do you say about yourself? What 3 great things would you say about yourself? So for me, I would say I'm a great communicator. I'm a good dancer, and I think I'm a great mother. So that's me. I would say those 3. So can you just write down 3 things? And these are really, really important to say these to yourself, to write these down and remind yourselves of them. And if you can, put them where you can see them. So write them down and put these where you can see them regularly. I have a vision board, and I put things like this on my board. Because it reminds you of what you're aspiring to. And also it's, if you haven't got it already, but it's also when you're feeling down or when you're doubting yourself, this is the evidence. This is saying, actually, no, I actually said this about myself. And when I said it, I believed it. Yes, vision boards, absolutely. All right, I'm going to finish this off because I could talk for England. So go back to where I was. Resume slideshow. There we go. So it's acknowledging your assets. It is also grown woman talk. Being wary of wolves in sheep's clothing and trickery. Now I put this in because I think, this is not something that's taught to a lot of young women about other people. Now, most people in the world are good people, but not all people in the world are good people. Some people will see your great, good, innocent nature, and they will try and take advantage of you in some sort of way, shape, or form. They will treat you nicely, they will smile, and they will tell you good things, but they're not always good people. And that could be male or female, young or old. So it's really important to listen to our inner voices and take our time to get to know people. Don't reveal too much about yourself, okay? You know, you are special, you're important, your secrets are important, your vulnerabilities are precious. And so keep those to yourself until you feel completely safe with someone, because far too often, young women, young girls, and women, still happens to women, regardless of your age, will open themselves up to people and they will be taken advantage of, whether it's, you know, being stolen from, whether it's being cheated on in a relationship, whether it's being treated violently, whether, you know, there's also sorts of, there's a whole range of things that can happen as a result of falling victim to a wolf in sheep's clothing. So just be mindful that not everybody who appears nice is good for you. And as I said, it's not something that is part of an open conversation with women. So I'm just going to say that. Okay. Oh, right. So also kind of along those lines, that sometimes, you know, the way people will put you down, people will say horrible things about you, and it's not because those things are true. It's usually because a person feels very insecure about themselves, and so therefore they'll say something horrible to you. So it's really important to know that what other people think of you is none of your business. Mind your own business. Have fun. Do you get your education? Think about your business. Plan your life. Be happy. And don't think about the negative opinions of others. And I'm just going to say, it's not always just friends or frenemies, but it can also be family members too. So for some reason, usually low self-esteem, they will try and put you down. No always, but I'm just saying it happens sometimes. And again, these are not the conversations we're having generally as young people, we're having as young people. So I'm just saying it, okay? So finally, learn to ask, why not me? So whatever you want to be when you're older, why not me? Why can't I have my own international business? Why can't I, you know, be an author? Why can't I be an international speaker, or whatever it is you want to be? Why not you? You can do it. So I just put a picture up of, I don't know if you're all aware of Copy, Nigerian music DJ and also philanthropist. And she's doing wonderful things. She just had her house featured on Cribs. She's amazing. And she posted this in June. And she's writing an article for Harper's Bazaar, which is like a really famous international magazine. She's speaking about how she came up in the business and the challenges she faces. And so clearly this is a person who asked herself, well, why not me? I can definitely do this. So again, when you're asking these questions, when you're thinking about who you are, and you're clear about who you are, when you're treating yourself with kindness, that all helps to build your confidence, okay? And all of these conversations today have been about trying to instill that confidence in you. So I think at this point, it's a good time to stop, but just to say thank you so much for listening, and thank you for allowing me to share this with you.
Yeah, say bring the energy up, Rebecca. Bring the energy. So girls, I hope you got that. You know, find your I am. Find your I am, write it down, put it on your wall, put it in your exercise book. Whenever you're feeling down, just take it out and say, I am fabulous. I am beautiful. I am purposeful. I can make it. I can do whatever I want to do. I can be whatever I want to be. I am loved. I am precious. Yeah? Say those things to yourself.